everybody around us who've helped us, groom us into who we are as human beings. That award is, in part to all of them. So just thankful.
Where do you keep all those things?
Next to my video games in my office. It's, while I play video games, I got it all on the wall there. So I'm gonna add another one there.
Hey Mike, what's it like just preparing for this big series without Finchy here right now?
Man, obviously we'll miss Finchy. He's our leader. He's led us to this point, and but at the same time we have so much trust and respect for all the guys on our staff. Micah has obviously had an opportunity earlier in the year. Finchy was out in Cleveland to give us a game, and everybody on that bench is more than willing to chip in and help, and players will be ready to go to help player coach and just help each other through this, and however long Finchy needs to get back with us, and we'll be ready to go either way.
What's going to have does veteran leadership take on a bigger role? Guys like you have to maybe take a little bit more of the leadership pie if for some reason he's not.
Yeah, it does. You saw it even in the last game when Finchy wasn't able to be out there at the end of the game. We're talking through it a lot more with each other and giving Micah ideas, and just really open forum with a lot of things. But guys still look to Micah though as he's the leader on the court, but as a team we'll start to try to figure it out as a whole as well.
In a game, take us back. I mean, is Finch calling a lot of plays, or do you call the plays? He looks to referees. What's the system?
Throughout the year, it's kind of been, depending on the game-to-game situation, the flow of the game. Sometimes it's, he sits there and doesn't say much, and he kind of just talks us through different schemes, and the players go out there and we make calls. And other games, we'll look to him for specific stuff he might see that we might not be filling out during the game, and that's what he's really good at, is being able to pick apart a matchup or some you see somebody in foul trouble that we might not recognize, and so we help each other on both ends of that, and so it'll be a lot of that going on even with Micah, just same kind of routine. We'll kind of pick each other's brains as the game goes on.
So Micah's been a personality add to the team, and just since you've been here.
Micah?
Yeah.
Well, he's an energetic guy. He's funny, witty. He's got a lot to him, and I'm not saying Finchy isn't funny and all that stuff, but Finchy could seem a little more serious than Micah, and that's good to have that kind of balance. And guys really respect Micah and what he brings to our team and everything he's done for us, and all the work that he does. That's not shown up, on the court.
Like, what weapons do you guys have in this series that need to be particularly sharp to be able to compete with them?
Discipline has to be huge against this team, so that goes down to not fouling, to boxing out, like the little things in between this game, not getting backdoor cut. Like, those things are things we can't control, but they're really good at. They don't beat themselves. They're a team that's been there and done it, and have a very high IQ as a whole, and we have to try to minimize those mistakes, because in between the lines, as far as our length, our athleticism, our skill level, we feel like we match up well. We feel like we have a lot of guys that can go out there and score and defend and play up and down. So it becomes the mental part and the little details that we have to be 100% sure on and really sharp on.
The Lakers probably feel like they outplayed Denver for a big chunk of that series, but is Denver just kind of that team that like the discipline or whatever wanes and they just jump on you?
Yeah, no, they're a team that wears you down. They do. Mentally, you can have a 5-10 point lead late in the game, and boom, they're back in it, and they're taking control of the game, because they find ways to make the plays, timely plays. They have big time playmakers at the end of games, and Jamal and Luke, Jokic, and just having those abilities to create for each other, and they've done it for so long. They have great chemistry. So for us, it's like I said, it's you got to not let that wear on you. You're not gonna go in there and win by 20. You're not gonna have those games where it's just going to be a blowout. It's going to be a tight game. It's going to be rough and physical, and you have to be able to withstand their runs and all the things they come with.
You're holding all that line. That's asked every time a team's playing at Denver. They've got that 52-80 right there on the free throw line. Does the altitude play a part?
I don't think so as much in the playoffs. Maybe in the regular season when you're bouncing between city to city and back-to-backs and stuff like that. But I don't think anybody lets stuff get to them too much in the playoffs. We're trying to win a game regardless of what environment you're in.
So you talked about with Ant in the first series, what he had to do as a playmaker for you guys to win that series. What are some things you're coaching him on, or that he needs to be special at in this series?
It's still more of the same for him. I think the one thing teams have done against him all year is try to get the ball out of his hands and try to make him a playmaker and see if he's willing to do that. And in the Phoenix series, he was, and before that, he had been developing that. So if he can continue to do that, continue to find guys and trust us and to making plays even late in the games, he's finding guys. Like, that's important for us. And because the more they double, the more we take advantage of it. The less they double later in the games, and the more opportunities he'll have to showcase his talent, which is I feel like he's unstoppable one-on-one.
Micah said that in the film sessions you sit by hand and kind of talk to him all the time. So like his maturation is probably the biggest impact on this team. That you kind of tried to take some ownership of that, and like help him go along as fast as possible, I guess.
A little, but not a lot. I mean, I'm part of it. Everybody in here has been a part of his growth, his development, and but yeah, when we're in film sessions, we're constantly in each other's ear. If he's about to explode about coach saying something bad to him, I'll tap him on the shoulder and be like, no, chill. Like, you need to hear this. Like, this is real. Like, he's being honest with this one, and you need to work on it. And he'll be like, all right, bet. Just kind of really receptive to stuff. And so I'm glad I'm there. I'm glad I'm there to kind of gauge his mental and make sure he's paying attention to the right things.
Like, Phoenix had that possession right before it got stuck at the end. They had 8 passes, and you guys kept rotating, closing out. Is that a kind of the textbook example of how connected you guys can be defensively?
Yeah, that was a great possession for us. It shows us, that wasn't a drawn-up scheme or anything. It was reactions and guys scrambling, and kind of the foundation that we've built and the defensive principles that we've built they carry over. And so that's a beautiful thing to see, that when in a tight game in a big moment, guys don't just start gambling and doing whatever they want to do. We still stuck to, if somebody gets posted, we double, we help, we rotate, guys scramble, run them off the three-point line, and hopefully force them into the paint and make a bad decision. And that's what happened. And that's Minnesota basketball right now.
Isn't Denver the king of the extra pass? I mean, when they got it going, it's like you think the guy's got an open shot and there's somebody that's more open. I mean, isn't that what they do as well as anybody?
Yeah, like I said, they're a machine. They don't make mistakes. They don't beat themselves, and that's where our discipline has to come into play. We have to be able to defend for 24 seconds sometimes. You have to be able to defend multiple passes, multiple drives, and some off-time passes with Jokic. You never know when he's going to throw it, when he's going to shoot it, when he's going to drive it. So you just have to be, ready, head on a swivel, and communicate the whole time.
Like, Murray kind of seems like their barometer. How important is it, I guess, to make life as difficult as possible? And what are the keys to doing that?
Yeah, when Murray goes well, they go well. They go well for the most part, and we're going to try to, limit that as much as we can. He's a great player, and he's going to make his plays. But we have a lot of guys we can throw at him. A lot of different schemes we're going to try to throw at him, and in hopes that it slows him down a little bit. But not just him. Like, we're treating Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, like, all these guys are just as high on our scouting report, because when they're playing well, they're pretty much unbeatable. So we're trying to take away as much as we can.
Do you account for Murray in the fourth quarter? Is he a different player than because he's made so many big shots the other night? Of course, the epitome of it, but he just seems like he gets better as the moment. Do you account for that when you're playing a team or not?
Well, yeah, you got guys like Murray. There's a few guys in the league who play like that. When the fourth quarter comes up, that it's their time and they're going to step up a couple notches. And we definitely know that's coming. So, like, fourth quarter start, you have to be locked in and understand that he's going to be more aggressive. Don't hold your head if he makes a tough shot. That's what he does. He's going to make a fadeaway or two, or and one, or things that other players might not be able to make, and be able to move on to the next possession and figure out how to win the game.
Thank you, Mike.